The S&P 500, the Nasdaq 100. Got some great action on the day. Really nice push. All the plays we mentioned, absolutely shredding, absolutely destroying. But I don't want to talk about that right now. We need to talk about the report that came in this morning and the cause for what's happening. And then ultimately tomorrow, we hear from Powell. We hear from the Fed. We get the anticipated rate hike decision. Will we pause? Will we continue this run in the short term? That's the question that's at hand for us. That's the important factor here. That's what all hands are on deck for. Now, really quickly, CPI, I'm not even going to make you wait for it. I'm not even going to make you ask for it, right? This is your report. Now, before we go into this, I want to let you know, I am trading what the market is giving me. I am not going to time a top. I am not going to try to short against the trend. I am not going to try to break the trend based on a thesis, based on a mere opinion. Right now, the market is taking all this information and digesting it as bullish, and people are getting back into the market. So we can understand fundamentals and we can understand technicals, but at the end of the day, it comes down to what is big money doing and can we follow what they're doing and react to the market in a way that makes us money. I believe personally over the past 3 or 4 weeks, we've done an excellent job at that. While everyone was bearish looking for a bottom, we were looking for a continuation and a push, and we've hit almost all of our targets, if not breaking above them as we speak. So I want to say that right now. Okay. As we look at inflation numbers, the only numbers that are coming down are right here. These energy numbers. Okay, these are the numbers that are benefiting you. Right? Those are the numbers you like. Everything else, transportation costs. Okay, we look at food cost. We look at everything except energy and fuel. It is still a massive issue. Now, my opinion on this, and I've been continuing to say this, as long as oil stays on the track in which it has been, and oil continues to drop, you're going to see data prove to be the same month after month after month. Okay? Because you're seeing massive drops. I mean, look at the drops here on energy. Massive month over month. There's massive drops, okay? In comparison to even some of the growth on some of the other ones on the inflation side of things. So we look at CPI. That's why you came in at 4% compared to 4.1. Your core stayed the same. Nothing had changed there. Okay. I want to make sure we get that out of the way. Okay, because I'm gonna give you my opinion on it as we jump into this. Okay, so let's just go really quickly back to the chart and where we're at. And this is just going to be my opinion before we get into the charts and what's happening with the Fed decision and how I think we're going to react to that. Okay, before we get into that, I have to ask you to consider doing 2 things: liking and subscribing helps to the channel, yada, yada, yada. Just want to say, if you like the channel, consider subscribing. If not, no harm, no foul. I'll see you here the next time you show up. Also, 2, if you are interested, the Discord link is down below. Again, this is not just a signal service. This is not somewhere where you're going to get rich quick. This is for people who want to get educated, learn how to trade, why we trade, why we get in, why we get out, and ultimately have someone that kind of helps you along the way with showing you how we do it and things that could maybe improve your game as well, right? Giving you a visual again, and I just like to show every single day what's happening in here. 2,500 on SPY, Tesla, 240% there. You have as well IWM, 40% to the upside. We mentioned that yesterday as well in the video. You have what someone opened a spread, what's happening here. So all different types of trades, and just showing exactly what's happening here. And you all saw yesterday it was a monster day as well. If you're interested, the link is down below. Now, going into this, as we go into the Fed meeting tomorrow, there's a few questions that I am left with. If we look at the past Fed meetings, Powell does not acknowledge energy. He just does not. I think energy is the premise of what is affecting inflation to the downside. Of all numbers, we've talked heavily about that. So if you're a bear here and you continue to want to be bearish, even though I look at that CPI report and I say there's massive issues still there, I am not going short. I'm not going to go short until we break trend. It's important to understand what you're doing by trying to go short too early. And I think this is a great lesson for everyone. You continue since March to just go straight up on ES. Since the banking collapse that we had. Since January, even more so. The Nasdaq, all tech, straight up. Everyone that tried to short Nvidia, Tesla, Microsoft, every other stock in the book, in the name, where are they? They're quiet. They'll pop up when we have a 1-2% day to the downside, but ultimately they're gone. They're hibernating. They lost their money, but they're gonna trade the paper account and they're gonna try to come out of the woodworks. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if the downside is to come, and we're going to have some bad news from Powell, or he's going to say something, this or that. I'm going to tell you right now, you will have an opportunity. You will not just go straight down from 14.9 to lows or to 13.5. It won't be a straight shot, right? Just go look back at every other drop we've had. We dropped, came back, dropped, came back. You had opportunity every single time. You can go back and forth, back and back and back and back and back. Okay, the only time when you really just fell straight down was immediately when the Ukraine news came out of them getting invaded by Russia. That's the only time you really went straight down 2,000 points. Besides that, and Jackson Hole, right? But even on those, you had multiple entry opportunities again and again and again. So I say that to say this: be patient, especially if you want to trade the downside. If you're trying to, I think trading the downside is a total mistake right now. I think it's foolish to be looking at the downside while we continue to make higher highs and higher lows repeatedly. This is the definition of a bull trend. This is the definition of continuation to the upside. This is the definition of bullish, right? There is no other definition of bullish besides what's happening right now. This is the very definition of it, okay? You have to understand that. So despite going into tomorrow, and I'm going to tell you right now, I do not trade overnight into the Fed meeting, rate decisions, anything along those lines. It's extremely high risk. So I will not have a position for this right now. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. Middle of the day tomorrow, I will not have a position. I will most likely be taking the day off until Powell comes out, gives the rate decision, and then going from there. That'll be my move. That'll be my decision in how I attack the market. And I'll react to what happens next. Okay? We've had a lot of good news. We're at massive levels, and I don't think you can really be upset. You've hit every target in the book. I mean, you're at 15,000 here on Nasdaq. You are dangerously close to pushing back into all-time highs. You're less than 2,000 points away from all-time highs here on Nasdaq. ES, you are about, 500 points? Less than 500 points from pushing back into all-time highs. If we moved from the same move that we had from the banking crisis that we had in March to now, you would be over 100 points above all-time highs. So in just 3 months, not even, in just 2.5 months, you've pushed back and maintained everything that you lost in March and more. Understand what's happening here. Understand people are getting liquidated. Understand buyers have stepped back into the market, right? And I think it's going to take quite a bit to push this thing back down. I'm just saying. I also, too, want to go over what's happening here on Bookmap on the day with liquidity. Again, this is a testament to, if you've seen the channel when we go over Bookmap, this is a heat map on the market. It's very dry. There's not a lot of liquidity out there holding you down, holding you up, which is probably why you got the push up today. Any type of buying, any type of selling would have pushed you in the direction. As you can see, minuscule icebergs, nothing huge coming in here either. 500, 400 lots, nothing big. So people aren't trying to YOLO into the market today. They're not trying to hammer calls, hammer buys, or anything along those lines. They're being cautious here. Understand that. There's no reason to go full send and risk everything into tomorrow. We need to understand that. Even the big money, as you can see here, and I try to cover this as much as possible, they're just waiting. They're waiting. So I want to tell you right now, be patient. Do not rush this. You will lose a lot of money, most likely, if you rush the decision or rush a play here. Okay? And react to what they say. I'll have updates on Twitter. I'll have updates everywhere I can possible. But right now, this is the Wild West, if you will, right? If we start to get upside tomorrow, though, I'm going to tell you right now, targets are easily around 15.25, 15.2 flat on the Nasdaq. I think you'll hit that with ease if everything goes well and accordingly. You probably honestly will break above that. I think if a Fed meeting goes well and they pause, you will go full bull. I mean, you've already gone full bull, but you will absolutely destroy on the market. You need to understand that. If the Fed comes out and pauses, there is no doubt in my mind the market goes ballistic. Gonna tell you right now. Okay. If they come out and raise 0.25, you probably have some downside in the short term. I would suspect not even over a week. Personal opinion. Because they're going to hint, in my opinion, if they do not pause at this meeting, they will hint and they will be very, I think they will lean and start hint at pausing at the next meeting. Almost guaranteed. Opinion, what I think is going to happen. Again, unemployment numbers looked good. CPI on paper looked okay based on the number that came out. And I think, this is my personal opinion, Powell's going to run with that. Okay, he's going to say this is working. Unemployment numbers are going up. It's working. It's working. That's what they've been doing for the past 6-7 months. I believe that's what they want to do. They want to let it sit where it's at. They want to let unemployment numbers start to go up more. Keep rates steady. That's the goal. Let the economy sit and stew in this. It won't continue to grow forever. But you need to understand, too, that GDP expectation. If we come out with an expectation of growth on GDP, again, on top of a pause, the market will get love. You have got to understand that. Okay. IWM as well. We mentioned this yesterday. Again, I tried to tell everyone. Go watch yesterday's video. While you were getting that move, IWM, the risk on asset, if you will, that's what I call it, the Russell, gives me the best indication of risk on versus risk off, if we look at any index, was bull flagging above its 200 SMA. Again, very strong. You broke out, obviously, and you're pushing back up into the local highs. Very, very bullish. Me and Jay have also been talking. It looks a lot like a Wyckoff accumulation down here, right? Like you want to push back up. You can quickly look. We're not even huge Wyckoff guys, right? Didn't even spell it right, right? Just want to give you a visual of what it looks like. Accumulation. You push down, consolidate, push up. Look at what's happening here. Very similar to how that's moving. Again, what happened back in January this year? Consolidated, pushed up, mounted the 200, pushed up again. Mounting 200, pushed up again. What happened between January 18th, January 19th, and February 2nd? Remember the Nasdaq. What happened? You had a nice push up here, right here, in November. Beginning of December, you got a little, or January, you pushed up a little bit. Slight, very minuscule. I mean, the push was nice, but it was minuscule in comparison to the entire market, what happened. And then after that push on the 20th and 19th, you went ballistic into February 2nd. That's when you got a bulkier move. Was that second breakout push with IWM. Am I saying that's what's going to happen here? I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but if you get the continuation and things go like we just talked about, you will get a monster push. But things have to play out and things have to be said accordingly. So I'm not going to say that you're going to get this breakout. It all depends on what and how Powell speaks about the market and the expectations going forward. Understand that. Okay, we're not just jumping to conclusions. There's a plan. We're writing this out, and this is what will happen, and this is how I expect us to move if X, Y, and Z occurs. Really quickly, what did we mention yesterday? If you're not following on Twitter, I can only say it so many times. Tesla. I sent this out yesterday at noon, around 1 p.m., about 2 hours before market close. I said it's literally free money. Gap fill loading to the upside, most bullish name out there in my opinion. 259 was the key level. Okay? What happened on Tesla today? This was absolutely free for following on Twitter. You broke out. Oh, sorry. You have to go back here. You broke out. This is where you broke out. And I actually signaled this to inside of Discord, as you can see. You can go into trade ideas. If you're in Discord, make sure you're paying attention at all times. You can see what was happening here. You had Baba, perfect, push right into the 200 today. You had Tesla breaking out as well. And then you had the best entry, which was back down here as well. Boom. Tesla. 249, right into 259.49. To the tick. The same level that was mentioned on Twitter. 100% free. Just saying. Right? Understand what's happening. Understand how this is playing out. Netflix. We also mentioned that. What was happening on Netflix? You had the ascending triangle forming here at the 200 SMA. 407. Well, what happened today on Netflix? Where are you at right now? We look at Netflix. Sitting at 237. The top of this level was all the way up at 450. And then you have a gap fill at 506. Playing out. Guys, be patient. These opportunities are there. And they will continue to be there. I Told you yesterday, Microsoft, one of my favorite names yesterday, pushed up this morning, gapped all the way up to 337. Boom. Almost a double top here. I still believe Microsoft wants to push into all-time highs. They just had the AMD conference and about AI, and Microsoft is going to be basically funding everything to do with their AI and their tech going forward. LRCX, I mentioned them yesterday. You started pushing up. You hit almost 630 today. Next stop around 640, 642. Again, the setups will continue to show up. NVIDIA, talked about it as well yesterday. You broke up. 410, pushing all-time highs. Everyone was saying you were going to break down. This was bearish. This was this. This was that. Again, people were just talking. Bears look smart. Bulls make money. It's the rule in the market, guys. Understand what's happening. I'm not here to take your money. If you want to join Discord, join. Don't care. Cool. Great to have you. But at the end of the day, if you're willing to put in the work, it's all there for your taking as well. I try to help you guys out as much as possible, post good setups, all of it, right? If you want to get hand holding, if you want to, be with us as we're trading, get more in detail things, of course, Discord's there for you. But again, it's all there. I'm not here to just money grab. Every single day I'm posting stuff on Twitter, right? The newsletter, everything in between, it's all there for your taking. So make sure you're taking advantage of it, guys. I know you want a prediction going into the Fed minutes. I'm not going to tell you how exactly it's going to go because I don't know. I'd be lying if I did that. I'm just telling you how I'm looking at it and how I'm going to trade if things go a certain way. If the things come out with a pause, in my opinion, again, and overall GDP growth moving forward as well with some of the more data readings that will come out, I'm going to continue trading this upside. If we get some downside looks, then yes, I might take those trades. But we're not going to start shorting the trend. It makes no sense. There's no sign to go short here yet, guys. Everyone keeps saying, "Oh, you have every sign to go short." You've not had one signal to go short on this. Not one. So don't fight it. You will continue to lose money. It's not the goal here. The goal is to win. Let opportunities come to us. We don't go and make the opportunities. The opportunities come to us. That's when we have the entry opportunities on dips, on breakouts with news, understanding what to expect from that news as well. That's how you make money in this market, right? It's not I wake up 5 minutes and take 2 trades and I'm rich. No, it's hard work. It's hours in front of the screen. It's putting in the time, the research, everything in between. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a video. It won't have my face in it. I'm sorry. I'll be out of town. It's all been on the laptop, but the video will come out. Have a good one, traders, and good luck trading the rate decision.